Sir, that to go into the actual physical, biochemical process of what's causing, let me make an analogy that may help to understand this. And to do this, we have a seminar that we put on called Build a Successful Life. And the first 4 hours of it is nothing but quantum physics. And I go into this in a very detailed manner to show how various types of energetics can affect the system. But you really have to have a basic understanding of quantum physics first and understand what everything is made up of. And everything is made up of atoms, and atoms have a certain resonance. So anything that causes a disruption of that atomic resonance, that things can either enhance it or they can actually cause a deterioration in it. So if there's something that is not what we call cell resonant, meaning that it is an energy that helps your cells. What does that mean? Okay. That's just Jane, our nurse practitioner, causing a problem. But if you have something that causes a deterioration in your cell resonance, then that is something negative that's going to cause a disruption in your system. If you have something that increases your cell resonance, that's something that's going to enhance your system and make your system more effective at keeping disease away, if you will. Josh, by the way, is this thing on? Yeah. No, I mean, I'm fine. If everybody can hear me, that's fine. I just want to make sure that's okay. Okay, so here's what ends up happening. When you have this building, for instance, this building was made of every single thing that was cell resonant. We don't have drywall here. This is not drywall, because drywall is not cell resonant. This is actually Den's armor, which was tested and it was seen to be resonant. Did you know that the ratio between the ceiling and the floor, the ceiling in that first wooden bar and the second wooden bar, they've actually been measured to see what is the most cell optimum or cell resonant ratios. I know that sounds really way out there in left field, but that's really what was done. The colors of our wall and the colors of the frame, as well as this brown, how many people like it? Well, some people may raise a hand and like it. Some people may raise a hand and say, no, I don't like it. Some people say, I don't know, whatever. But let me tell you what we did. We had 6 people that were involved in the process, besides myself. We had it narrowed down to 5 colors on the wall, and we had 6 frame colors that we narrowed down out of thousands and thousands of colors. Thousands of colors. So if you have 6 combinations in the frame and 5 combinations in the wall, 6 times 5 is what? 30, right? So that's 30 possibilities, 30 combinations. Then we had 6 people that we talked to. My wife, Jane, who was sitting back there just now that disturbed our conference, right? We had George, who was one of my project managers. We had the foreman, we had the architect, and we had Jenna, who's my operations manager. We had those 6 people that I asked, which one combinations do you like? So now I got 30 combinations, and I just brought in 6 more variables. So 6 times 30 is now what? 180, right? So I have 180 possibilities of what could be the right choice. Okay? I tested this using a certain technique, an energetic technique. And what are the chances, like some people like certain combinations, other people like other combinations. What are the chances that these 2 colors were 180, of the 180 possibilities, exactly the same combination that everybody tested on Strong? So every person was tested with 30 combinations. Some liked this combination, some didn't. But they all tested that this was the strongest combination. Every one of them. And that's why we have these colors. They're the same colors downstairs, they're the same colors up here. So when you ask the question of how does this affect, some of this we don't even understand. We just know that the body responds to certain types of frequencies. So these 2 colors were an example of those frequencies. These lights, for are fluorescent lights good or bad? They're terrible. But the frequency of this light, this is not normal mercury ballast lights. These are actually resonating at the same frequency as sunlight. They were only like 5 times more expensive than normal lights. If anybody doubts me, you can look at the building construction cost. But these lights don't cause the same problem as fluorescent lights do. And we can actually grow plants we've actually had plants that you can put without the sunlight and they'll grow. Maybe not as well as with natural sunlight, but they do grow. Okay, so I hope that kind of answers the question. It goes into a lot of detail about what microwave exactly does, but it causes the energy from the microwave is not the same energy that your body is emanating, and those energies don't match. If an energy matches and enhances it, that's good. If an energy doesn't match it, it's going to bring it down. So it's just like a person walks into the room and they have great energy and you just feel really connected to them. You feel good, although somebody's ran over your cat, made your resonance higher, made you feel good. Or somebody comes in that you really don't like because they're just a negative person, it brings your energy lower. Microwave is doing the same thing, except it's on a much more exacerbated scale, and it can actually cause DNA mutation and DNA adducts and all sorts of other dysregulations. Okay? So that's the fourth energetics.